Welcome to Camp Dolphins All Access from Miami Gardens Dolphins Training Camp. Mike Cunha alongside Kim Camper here. Bo, bittersweet day. Today is the final day of training camp.
This our last Camp Dolphin?
No. We'll keep doing it.
Okay.
Don't worry. Don't worry. No,
man.
You still got work to do.
There you go.
You still got work to do. The players still have work to do. Of course, another preseason game, final preseason game against the Jags coming up on Saturday. But I want to get your perspective now that we have wrapped up another training camp. How do you feel about this team compared to maybe where you felt at the start of all of this?
I feel a lot better.
Yeah.
You know, I still have some concerns along the offensive line, but that's even starting to solidify a little bit on that left side. So there's some hope there. And you know, seeing Tua, seeing what he's done during this training camp has been nice to see. I think he's got full of composure. I think he understands what he's doing. I think it's going to be a big year for him if he can stay healthy. I like what's going on in the running back room.
Yeah.
And then we've had the secondary. Rather than Ramsey going down, it's been fairly healthy. So I think that's good because you can get the rotation players in the nickel package, the dime package guys, and the guys that are going to back up. So I think there's a lot of good things going forward. But I also think this team believes in themselves. I think, you know, going on the road, going for a couple weeks, having dual practices, being together as a group is allowed them to bond. And so I think the ship's not weaving. I think the ship's heading straight for where they want to go, and I think that's where you want to be when you get ready to open the season.
I want to touch on something you mentioned, the DB room looking healthy, looking healthier too. Brandon Jones not in the red jersey anymore, and then Cam Smith, the rookie second-round draft pick that they have high hopes for, he's back practicing as well too. So certainly good to see that there as well. Now Tanner Connor, tight end.
Whoa.
Hey, emerged the last week of camp here. Huh?
You know, there was a while I was going, is there really a Tanner Connor, or is this just a figment of my imagination?
No, he's real.
I've heard him. I see his name on the roster. But I don't see him anywhere to be seen.
Yeah.
He's been out the last couple of days, and they're throwing him the football. I think the first ball they threw today, they threw right to him. So they're going to get him acclimated really quick. And don't be surprised if he's active for the first game because look, this guy they've kept him for 2 years.
Yeah.
And they've been patient with him, and now's the time for him to show up. And so I'm happy to see that. And it also kind of cements that tight end room.
Right.
You know, you wonder who was going to be. You knew Durham was going to be there.
Yeah.
Sauber's going to be there. But who are the other guys? And so I think that's kind of gotten solidified.
Yeah, it's really interesting with Elijah Higgins and Tanner Connor. They kind of got a couple guys that almost feel like projects that they're invested in. So we'll see where they end up landing because obviously next week we got cut down days, who ends up on the roster, who ends up on the practice squad, and they go from there. All right, I think you noticed something interesting today. Javon Holland had something special on his helmet.
All training camp and during the OTAs, quarterbacks been wearing cameras on their helmet. Now I look at Javon Holland, the safety sitting back there. I was talking to Louis Zabala, our cameraman. He goes, if he's got that, it must just be, you might just see, it's all right with a quarterback who's just kind of standing back there, but when you got a DB running all over, I'm not so sure what they're going to see out of that video.
Quarterback of the defense,
no doubt,
I would say.
My guess is probably for preset, seeing, trying to see formations, trying to figure that kind of thing out. I think that's probably it, but it's interesting. Pretty soon you may see a nose tackle with one on.
Right.
And that video would be pretty interesting to see.
I was going to say, a defense, Javon Holland, he's a bit of a thumper. I mean, the housing on that camera better be strong if it's going to make it. Maybe that's why they busted it out on the last day of camp and not the first day.
As long as that Russian rocket that went to the moon didn't make that camera, it'll be all right.
It'll be okay. It'll survive. All right, well, we survived camp. I mean, it was hot, but here we go. One more game on Saturday. We'll be up there in Jacksonville on the call. And then it is time for the regular season. It'll be a little bit of a week off, but cut down day again happens, and then we're off and running.
Cut down day is tough. This week is tough for these guys. There's going to be a lot of guys that are going to be out there and that have played their whole lives, and there are guys, once they walk off that field, they'll never put a uniform on again. And well, I tell you, when you realize that, it hits you like a ton of bricks.
Yeah, it's an emotional week. Something Mike McDaniel did tell us is that his goal isn't to just find 53 guys for a roster. He wants all 90 to end up on a roster somewhere across the NFL. We'll see how they did in terms of development. But Kim Camper, thanks for helping us out all training camp. That'll do it for Camp Dolphins All Access from Miami Gardens. We will be back. Wow, I still need some training camp apparently. We'll be back for more of these as the season goes on. Thanks for joining us.